Sometimes they did just send it by text message, which was the cleanest and fastest way. But other times when they'd written it down on paper and they've got, what, 5 or 6 details, I just arranged to meet them.
How much would you pay for each set of details?
Probably about £20 per detail. And you could make anything up to £1,000, £2,000 out of it.
How widespread do you think this is?
I know there's people that, apply to work in call centres specifically to steal credit card details as well as personal details. It's like a booming criminal industry. I have been offered details from Indian call centres and so on. If you're buying from an Indian call centre, you'll be getting a whole set of details, a whole, 10, 20, 50, something like that, rather than in the British call centres, you might get 1 or 2.
So there is an established link between data thieves in the UK and India. If financial details were available all over the subcontinent, the potential for fraudsters here could run into the millions. I headed back to India to test the system in another city. We were now in Calcutta. Our cover was the same. We were setting up a call centre and we wanted to get hold of UK customers' financial data. I'd sent a colleague called Paul on ahead a couple of weeks earlier to try to find people who were in the data selling trade. He'd succeeded. When I arrived, he'd already met a young call centre consultant. His name was Sushant Chandak. He worked in IT, in call centres, and he had illegal data to sell.
Just letting you know, it has name, phone number, date of birth, marital status.
I wanted to know where all this data was coming from, but how candid would he be with someone he'd only just met? Like Mr. Aurora, he was willing to provide the one-stop shop, a call centre, staff and lists of people to call. The details were on his laptop.
How many customers would you say on your own database?
I have as of now somewhere around 200,000.
Okay.
So he had a personal database with the details of 200,000 people. It wasn't yet clear how he'd obtained it, nor how much detail there was on each person. But at our request, he brought a sample of his best data for us to take away and review.
In terms of spot code for a particular bank.
Right.
In terms of account number. How many years that person banking in the same bank. 2 months, 12 years, 4 years, 15 years, 30 years, 25 years.
For some, he had passport and driving licence information. For others, full banking details.
So this is a bank debit card?
Exactly, it is like card holder name,
Right.
card type, US Electron, Switch,
MasterCard,
card
yeah.
number. Then comes the start date of that card.
Right.
Then comes the end date.
Right.
That's valid date basically going to say. And the security digit, that's CVV number. In your back of your card, you find 3-digit number.
So he had the security code. Just how had he got hold of this data? He claimed he had salesmen who could supply unlimited amounts.
You have a network also of other people that can
Exactly,
provide...
the people are there whom we have a contract, who are also into this lead providing business. We have contact with them whenever we want lead.
Right, and what sorts of places do they work?
It's like Delhi, Udaipur, that way. There are various people, and they are even attached to different centres. So what they do,
call centres?
Yeah,
right. And is this network already working for other people? Right.
It's just like I have a very good rapport with them. They get the payment very properly. I pay them, so they simply trust me.
He claimed call centres themselves were part of the trade by selling customers' data they'd already collected onto middlemen to make extra profits.
All right, so it's not just individuals who are brokering, so the actual call centres will provide leads to other call centres?
Not to other call centres, they never do that. To brokers.
So the data was churning around from call centre to call centre. Every time details are passed on, the same people are being cold called again, this time by agents from another company. But just whose data will we be buying?
Mostly, like if you consider UK market, as of now, the UK market is placed with your wireless products.
Wireless products?
As a wireless, I mean to say like 3G, Vodafone, or 2.
All right.
Like if you go for T-Mobile and Vodafone detail, like wireless leads kind of thing, we'll get bank information.
So the data belonged to people who had bought mobile phones via an Indian call centre. I just checked whether he would accept this was totally illegal.
Is this legal?
So there's nothing legal hassle as such.
Okay, but as far as us getting information from other call centres is concerned,
No.
do I have to be worried about that?
No.
He pretended that everything was above board.
Okay, thanks.
After the meeting, we called through to London to get the data reviewed.
Okay, bye.
Our expert was confident it appeared to be genuine.
So what did we get this time? Well, again, their bank account numbers and credit card details. But these are customers who bank with the Halifax, the Bank of Ireland, Lloyds TSB, and the Alliance in Leicester. And from afar afield as London, Inverness and Birmingham. Now, this is the second Indian city we've been in, and what is surprising me is how easy it is to get hold of these things.
The lack of control over such sensitive financial data was shocking. The system appeared wide open to fraudsters. The next meeting with Sushant was a couple of days later. He was on great form, thinking he was close to a big deal. He arrived with fresh UK mobile phone customer data, hot leads with lots of financial detail.
Right.
This is a small sample, you can see. I'm not saying the
How
entire
small
bunch.
is small?
Yes, I'm just saying 10,000, 8,000. 8,000 is 80. Yeah, 8,000.
8,000. Are these hot leads?
Yep.
Okay.
We asked him how many of those 8,000 contained credit card numbers.
I am carrying the details of 1,300. They are like sample 1,300 customers who are having like some card, credit card or debit card.
Yeah.
The layout of those 1,300 people was the same as before, as usual with the 3-digit credit card security code, once again from people buying mobile phones. We wanted proof that his data was genuine, so he'd brought along a recording of an agent collecting details from a customer during a sales call.
This is actually a call centre employee calling somebody.
Exactly.
Hello?
Hello. Ma'am, I believe you got a mobile phone, yeah?
Yeah.
You're using a contract phone?
That's actual live voice file.
Sushant explained that the agent built up confidence to make the consumer happy to hand over information.
Yeah.
Where my agent call up my customer, they page. This is the way they collect.
Ma'am, you've got a Visa Electron card?
Yeah.
In this case, the agent gently coaxes the lady to hand over her credit card number. It's not clear how much of the number he already has.
If you see your card, you find long strings of numbers starting with 4670, right?
Yeah.
And ma'am, it goes on with
62.
62.
My agent started it like, if you just see your card, you find 4670.
Yeah.
So they get a bit of confidence.
And ma'am, it goes on with
8098.
8098.
Yeah.
The card number obtained, now it was time for the security code on the back of the card. The agent knows that it generally starts with the last 4 digits of the credit card number, in this case 8098.
Right, and ma'am, if you flip your card,
Yeah.
you find a number starting with 8098, right?
Yeah.
Right. And ma'am, it goes on with 7.
Yeah.
So the security code is gently obtained from a consumer.
You want to go to another voice file?
Should we have a listen to another?
He played as another. At one point, the lady expressed some concerns.
Could you help me out with your date of birth?
I don't like giving that out over the phone.
Well, let me tell you, ma'am, it's a recorded line, right? And whatever information you provide me or my company is held under the strictest of confidence, right? Because as I told you, we are protected under the Data Protection Act according to the UK law, right?
Okay.
And ma'am, if you're looking at your card, ma'am, you see a long strings of numbers on the card of yours?